Well, welcome to another edition of In the Pocket. All thanks to Palmerbet, of course. And, this man, there's none bigger in the game of AFL. Former Hawk, former Sydney Swan, former Saint. And aren't they Saints up and about at the moment? This bloke's, he is riding every crest with them. And I say a very good evening to Spider Everett. Spider, how are you, big fella?
Oh, yeah, always good. What another tough round of footy. We're loving it. It's unpredictable, but, I've worked out the multis. I reckon I've got the solution. I've put my head down for the last 4 days and got my head around it. So really excited. And the gather round in Adelaide, just watching the lead up looks fantastic. And you know what the NRL Magic Round's like. I bagged it a few years ago thinking, you know what, this will never take off. And that's been in Brisbane, and it was awesome. And the gather round in Adelaide is building absolute full momentum. A lot of the games are sold out. It's going to be huge. It's an atmosphere. It's really like a grand final lead in this weekend, Adelaide. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks, to be honest, you've got the Live Golf going there as well. So there's plenty going on.
They got the State of Origin as well, the NRL State of Origin, first one there. I don't know who's the premier there, but I tell you what, he must love his sport because he has got everything in Adelaide.
It's good. It's good to see. It's a beautiful part of the world.
Great.
Adelaide, underrated part of the world, mate.
But that West End, let's just I don't know how much of those you can drop.
Glenelg's a beautiful little part of the world, mate, down there. It's a magic little beach. Hey, listen, Spide, each and every week we seem to be popping up with something new in the background. We've got the Hall of Fame there, of course. We've got the big the guitar, the St Kilda guitar, which popped up last week. Now, what is over your left shoulder, mate? Is that a footy boot?
Yeah, it's a footy boot. I thought, you know what, I might just add a little bit of spark, and I know that you love the Tigers, and that's one of Dusty Martin's signed boots in the background there. So my young fella's a massive fan of Dusty's, and so I just thought I might just put it on the end of the couch to give him a little bit of luck because the Saints are 0-4. I mean 4-0. The Tigers need a little bit of luck, so it might be in the way I position things.
Mate, I'll tell you what. So how'd you end up with that? How'd that come about?
I go to a lot of auctions and look around the places. So I'm a mess. Like Dusty, he's a greatest player, one of the greatest of all time. And, when he played up here in the grand final, when it was played in Brisbane, and his actual grandfather is from near a town where my wife grew up. So it's always got that little connection. Yeah.
That is awesome, mate. And no one will ever win 3 Norm Smiths in 3 premierships. I don't reckon that'll ever happen in our lifetime, Spot, anyway.
That's right. That's why we've got his boot. He's a superstar, isn't he?
Love it, mate. You're just going to keep getting to that each and every week by the sounds of it, which I'm looking forward to. Hey, listen, what a big round last weekend, of course, was to round 4. Brisbane, big winners. They seem to just lift a leg, or lift a cog when they play at home, and that was a good win over the Pies. No big tools, though, for the Pies, so a few excuses for mine.
Yeah, it makes it hard. And, Collingwood still won 15 out of the last 17. So let's not take too much away from what they've been able to achieve. They still get numbers around the ball, but Brisbane just got off to a flyer. And we know when Brisbane get their act into gear. But, for me, Cam Rayner going forward made a big difference. Made a good presence there.
He lit it up early, didn't he?
A little bit of pressure off Danaher, a little bit of pressure off Cameron as well. And, they've just got another really good asset. And he was always good forward. They tried him back the first few weeks, but back to where he belongs.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Hey, Bulldogs, that was a good win against the Tigers, to be honest. We're just paddling at the moment. It's Tigerland. It was an interesting game, wasn't it? Ebbed and flowed, but back-to-back victories for the Bulldogs. Their season back on track, Spite.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the Tigers probably need a little bit more from their trade choices during the summer without Shea Bolton still not at his form and Dusty's still about there. Tommy Lynch now we know that's injured and probably going to cop weeks. So you sit there and go, okay, where are they from here? And I thought when the rain come down, it was going to be more of their kind of ball. But, one under the Bulldogs, they just, as they do, they just scrap it and just continue to scrap it forward and off the back of the Bont and Liberatore, who I reckon's having a cracking year. So, and Tom English too, their ruckman can't be underestimated. So, yeah, the Bulldogs continue on and Tigers got to start finding a win.
You always got to get those little ruckman plugs in there, mate.
Well, we look at it every week.
No, and mate, I'm with you. No,
don't you start jumping on the bandwagon. There's been blokes off the ruckman for the last 50 years, and they've finally come to the conclusion that, ruckmen are worth their weight in gold. Okay, so yes, give us our time to shine. One of them won a Brownlow. You'd close the AFL down, you blokes.
Well, the last one to win one, Spide. Tell me who it was.
I would have said it was probably Peter Moore,
Nah, Scotty Wine, big fella.
Scotty Wind. Okay.
Would have been back in about 92, 93, I reckon.
Yeah, a bit before my day.
Yeah,
Actually,
just a
right
little
on
bit.
my day.
A little bit. Hey, Port Adelaide, Sydney, they're saying classic clash. For mine, I thought the game was ordinary. I watched a fair bit of this on Saturday night, and I thought it was just a game. I'm not a big rap. I know you played there at the SCG, mate. I'm just not a big rap at the SCG. It's just that tight, confined space kind of footy. It just doesn't do much for me, mate.
You'd prefer the big wings and the open plan of a Subi or Wacker or a Optus Stadium. Those grounds where you can really open them up. So it is a bit small, but both teams are. I don't think Sydney aren't firing at the moment. Port Adelaide aren't really firing. It just the greatest thing about it was it ended up after the siren. It was epic. One team thought they'd won until they actually looked at Alir just then. Just hit the ball. So look, I think the game was only good for that 5 seconds at the end. So I think both sides are going to find it hard, and a few sides have to really find, a little bit of form.
Where's Buddy at, mate?
Well, it's going to be interesting. And he prefers, to me, I think Buddy's only got one position now. That's deep forward, one out, big solid unit, can still be quick enough and smart enough around the ground. But you get him up the ground, can get exploited now. So, unless you're going to play him deep, and when you're playing deep and then you've got somebody like May or a couple of these blokes who enjoy running off, all they're going to do is try and stretch him, push him up to the wing. So he's going to find it hard. And when you get to start covering for players, it's going to make it harder. So you'll be picking and choosing when you play, buddy.
Couldn't agree more, mate. Hey, what about the Cats first quarter? Seriously, I was sitting there thinking, gee whiz, this is going to be unbelievable. This is going to be a big story if they go forward, especially against the Hawks. But their third quarter, mate, Jeremy Cameron, 7 goals. He'd have to be up there in Brownlow
no doubt.
early in season, wouldn't he? He'd have to be spied.
Can I ask you what you would have done? I had a mate text me early on Monday. Easter Monday, you wake up, all your Easter eggs are gone. Okay, you got no hot cross buns left, but you've got one multi. You've had Melbourne to win over 40 plus at 285. You've had the Masters winner at $10 going into each other. So you've got riding on Geelong to win, just to win at $1.18. Do you cash out or do you take the money before the bounce?
Let it ride, Spide. Let it ride, mate.
$1.18?
No, Cats are always going to win that contest, mate. He's done.
What were you thinking at quarter time? I would have been having a heart attack.
Yeah, you'd probably just had to just let it ride at that stage, though, didn't you? But
yeah,
he's done all hard work at the 2 roughies, mate. He's done pretty well there. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's interesting won the Cats. Like, I think they're going to. When the whips are cracking kind of mid-year, I reckon they're certainly going to be one of the teams to beat, mate. We've been banging on about it 4 or 5 weeks.
Well, you know what? The first half, the Easter Monday game, they looked terrible that first half. They exactly the way they turned up to me at Monday is the way they looked slow. Everything was there. But then whatever they gave them at halftime, give it to them before the game because they come out a different team and they were fantastic. They did the running, they did the chasing, the tackling, all the hard things. They opened up the forward line and it just worked for them and they just looked like the Geelong of old. So this week coming up against another team they should beat, I reckon by 3 or 4 weeks they'll have all the confidence in the world and it's probably exactly what they needed at the right time.
Now, I just touched on Jezza Cameron, okay, and I've just pulled up the Palmerbet app. That is how easy it is. You just pull it straight up off the phone.
What's he at?
$21 for Jezza.
Yeah, good value.
All thanks to Palmerbet. So Nick Dacos is our favourite at $4.20. Clayton Oliver at $7. Paddy Cripps.
I reckon he's a good bet. He's got 3 best ons already.
Yeah, he's playing well, Oliver, and he's got the different hair to stand out a little bit this year too, I reckon. I reckon that's a bit of a ploy. Cripps at $10, Bottom Pally at $10, Petrarca at 13, Lockie Neal at 15, DeGoey 17, Davies Uniac at 17, Chad Warner 21, Jezza Cameron 21, Andrew Brayshaw 26. So
take the double. What about that? Because there was all talk about Kernow for the Coleman. Said he won't. Sunday, you could not get near him. He's the one who come in tight. And then suddenly, by 5 o'clock on Monday, it's like, oh, hang on. We've still got another player here. We've still got Jeremy Cameron. So, absolutely could be a great double. He's in amazing form, Jeremy Cameron. He's the best form. Like, he's kept the Cats alive.
Definitely.
Even though they haven't, just kept them actually in some form of game.
He hunts the footy. He wants
Yeah.
it in his hands, doesn't he?
And he hunts the umpires. And that's the only thing I've got about him is how did he go off after hitting an umpire? You've embarrassed the AFL community. We've been going 100 years. We're tougher than umpires. And finally, it's been proven wrong.
How close was that, though, to being a head clash, too? That would have been disaster, mate, if it had set him out for this weekend's ground or something. That would have been...
Imagine if he missed this week for running into an umpire.
HIA, yeah. Hey, listen, let's talk about gather round, mate. Every single game is in Adelaide or South Australia, which is going to be fantastic. So we kick off Thursday night. This is going to be a beauty, too. Crows taking on the Blues. Crows back-to-back victories. Carlton just humming along. They're going along all right. Head-to-head, all thanks to Palmerbet. Crows 208, Carlton at $1.78 at the line. Adelaide plus $3.50.90, Carlton minus $3.50.90. Adelaide Oval, full house to kick off this gather round weekend. Harry Mackay's just been given the tick. He's right to play this week. Spide, which way do you see this contest going?
Look, I think Adelaide are in good form. They prime themselves on something like this, big stage, big event, built up for it, and so will Carlton. And I don't think Carlton. I kind of agree with Vossi. I reckon Carlton's got a bit of improvement in them still.
Oh, 100%. Yep.
Great defence. Their midfield solid, but gee, their forwards, you can't get near them. Like, we spoke about this last week, saying, they get in each other's way, McKay and Curnow. And then, this weekend they delivered the ball to each other. It's like, all right, I'll have a kick, I'll kick it to you, and then I'll go out and get it, and I'll kick it to you. It's like they're playing games with us. So I just love it. So for me, I reckon Carlton. Carlton are going to be way too strong. Not way too strong. They'll be too strong.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, and they've been supported too. I reckon they were about $1.90 when things first opened up, and the Crows were $2. So into $1.78 now, all thanks to Palmerbet. Freo taking on the Gold Coast Suns. This is Friday night, 5:10. So it's a double header on Friday night. I don't mind this. Something different. It's at Norwood Oval. Have you ever played at Norwood Oval, Spide?
I've never been down to Norwood Oval, but I like it. They've got a game in Mount Gambier as well, have they? Mount Barker, somewhere down
Barker,
there.
Mate. Yeah, not Mount Gambier. I was thinking, gee whiz, I didn't see that one, but yeah, Mount Barker.
No, Mount Barker. Okay. But I knew it was in South Australia. So, look, I love it. I think it's really, really good. It's going to be great for the community, great for the local footy clubs. I just think it's a great concept.
Yeah, I agree. Head-to-head, Freo Dockers $1.70. Gold Coast at $2.16. At the line, Fremantle minus $5.50.90. Gold Coast plus $5.50 $1.90. I must admit, Spide, I actually reckon the Suns are the value here. I reckon I know you love your Suns, but I just reckon Dockers aren't going as good as what everyone thinks at the moment.
Well, either of the Suns, if you watch last week's result, I thought the Suns were going to be an absolute chance last week. I gave them until quarter time. Then after that, the Saints were fantastic. And the Suns at the moment, I think maybe a bit similar to Brisbane, when Brisbane got really challenged last week and then they come out against Collingwood. They're being challenged at the moment, the Suns. Locally here, they asked me honestly what I thought, and I said, I think they're really struggling. They're disgraceful, and they really need to start. A couple of their younger players and mid players really need to start standing up and helping their guns, because they're leaving it to too few at the moment. I think they have got a better plan and they've got a better system if they get it going then, Fremantle. I just hope they get it going. So an oval like that, out of the way, I think the travel will do them well. I'm with you. I reckon the Suns are probably the value.
Yeah, I do too. I just reckon they'll bounce back. I don't know why, but I'm just getting that feeling in my bones.
And if Witts comes in, it'll be even better.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Richmond v Sydney. This is 8:10 at the Adelaide Oval. So we go from Norwood back to the Adelaide Oval for gather round. Head-to-head, the Tigers, all thanks to Palmerbet, $2.50. The Swannies, $1.54. At the line, Richmond plus 11.5 $1.90. Sydney minus 11.5 $1.90. No Lynch for Richmond. I reckon this throws up a little bit of a different forward setup, which I think, Spide, might actually be of benefit to the Tigers.
Absolutely took the words out of my mouth. I love it when we're on the same page. We're starting to think the same.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. Look, you get there, Rewalt's now going to go back. They're able to put a Dusty one out, Shea Bolton one out, be able to move them around. I still think their midfield's got to get a little bit more. And Sydney aren't going great. Like they've got their players, Papley needs, also Heaney. There's players there that probably haven't got their form of last season yet. So it's going to be a game of, really who starts well and can continue on. I think the start's going to be really important. It's going to be a cracking crowd there as well. Look, as much as I like the Tigers, I've circled the Sydney Swans. I'm going to stick with the Swans to beat the Tigers. I just think they've got just a little bit more.
Don't be surprised if Noah Boulder plays forward either. He has played that role in the past, so he might even go down and play that pinch hit in the forward line at some stage. Hey, it's going to be interesting to see how the ground holds up because we go back to the Adelaide Oval on Saturday afternoon. Brisbane taking on North Melbourne. This is at 1:10 p.m. The line's $1.18 head-to-head. North Melbourne at $4.90 at the line. Brisbane minus $29.5, $1.90. North Melbourne plus $29.5, $1.90. Spide. Lions get the job done here for you, mate?
Yeah, plus 29 I think is a little bit short too. The way they played on the weekend, Brisbane, they were fantastic. Look, North Melbourne, the thing I like about it, and this is what, the hard thing when you look at clubs like, I suppose, when you're trying to have a bet on, the Gold Coast Suns or even, Hawthorn are a little bit more competitive. But you know what? North Melbourne will play 4 quarters. Clarko will get them cranked up to really not give in. And, they only lost by, 3 or 4 goals to a really good side. And, it was a big occasion as well. So these players are getting great experience. I don't think they're going to be experienced enough to beat Brisbane Lions. Will they cover the 29.5 points? It'll be a tough one. It'll be close. It will be interesting. But for me, Brisbane with, their small forwards and their midfield brigade, they're able to really, McCluggage and these blokes just get plenty of the footy, and now they're using it well. So, yeah, I couldn't see North Melbourne winning, and I think Brisbane will be in 2 on trot.
Now, I actually said that's at the Adelaide Oval. That's at the Adelaide Hills. That's at Mount Barker, that game. So
Mount Barker.
Yeah, so that's at Mount Barker, mate. That is bush footy at its best out there, the Lions.
I love this, though. And all of them are sold out. And I don't know how many. These grounds will still fit 10, 15,000.
Yeah, it's good.
But the atmosphere around that town, think of that main street, the pubs and the clubs and the
Hindley Street
bars. Yeah, but even out in the sticks, it's going to be just buzzing, that whole area. Yeah. Just with AFL superstars walking around, grabbing your coffees and your drinks and going for your stretching. Every mascot from the AFL is in Adelaide. If you don't need better to go to Adelaide, go and watch every mascot.
I love it, mate. Hey, listen, the next game, this is back at the Adelaide Oval. Essendon taking on the Melbourne Demons. Saturday afternoon, 4:10 p.m. at head-to-head. Bombers, $3.90, all thanks to Palmer Bet. The Demons are $1.26. At the line, Essendon plus $24.5, $1.90. Melbourne minus $24.5, $1.90. I must admit, I reckon that the Demons are an absolute moral here, Spot.
Oh, how good are they? How good are they going at the moment? And, when you look at a team like this, when we talk about their small forwards, Cozzy Pickett had about 35 shots on goal. Grundy's been really, really good for him. But still, it's their midfield. When you've got Petrarca, Oliver, Viney, all these blokes getting 30-odd touches, it's just they're just machines at the moment. And as good as Essendon is, I'll tell you how you can bring Essendon in from, what are they, $1? What are Essendon? What are Melbourne paying?
Melbourne are $1.26, mate, head-to-head.
I can tell you how you can get to Melbourne $1.01, and that's if Stringer pulled out. Yeah. Because Stringer was an absolute jet. 10 shots on goal. The big torpy from 78 metres out, probably be 90 now, but it was just great. And he's just a great player to watch. He plays with passion, but he can't easily with me.
Yeah, love it, mate. Hey, Port Adelaide take on the Western Bulldogs. This game at the Adelaide Oval, it's going to be buzzing all Saturday. This is at 7:30 p.m. Head-to-head, the Power $1.51. Western Bulldogs at $2.56. At the line, Port Adelaide minus 11.5, $1.90. Western Bulldogs plus 11.5, $1.90. Spide, am I seeing this wrong? I know they had a good win against the Swans. They were pretty average in the first quarter, though, against the Swannies last week. And the Bulldogs are playing some good footy at the moment. I reckon this is skew-if here too, mate. The Palmer Bet boys have got this one wrong.
Well, and I'm only going with who I'm circling. I'm with you a little bit. I'm not with you at all. I like the Bulldogs. I've been on the Bulldogs for the last few weeks, and I reckon they have absolutely improved. The big men of Port Adelaide really stood up. I'd love to see the conditions before I put down my hard-earned, but I can't do that. So I'm going to sit there, and I reckon Port Adelaide, they've had a tough run the first 4 weeks as well. They haven't had easy teams to beat. So they've come up against it now. They've got a little taste of victory. I still like the fact that I reckon the Port Adelaide can win it. At home, big crowd, on for them. Take out the Bont, take out Libba, or I'm going with Port Adelaide.
I'm trying to get the weather. Would you believe it's the only capital city I haven't got on my phone, I reckon, but I
Yeah,
can't.
well, you're
I'll
not
get it
losing
before
any
the
sleep.
show.
It's not like we go to Adelaide too often.
No, I did actually go there in January. Nice part of the world.
It
Hey,
is. It's great if you love
it is,
fishing.
it is. And that beach and the pub, the Grand Hotel, it's magnificent. And you get the tram straight into the city, and you can get the electric scooters and go around like you
The
can drive
footy
around.
oval, yeah, I love their little market there. I used to, whenever we played
Yeah,
down there, we'd go to their market in the morning and have the coffee. And we
Chuck-
didn't have the luxury of just walking over to the oval and back again. But it is a great setup. The city of churches and joppies, still alive joppies.
yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful, beautiful spot, Adelaide. Hey, Geelong v West Coast, Sunday, 1:10 p.m. at the Adelaide Oval. Cats $1.08. Poor old West Coast, they're at $8. At the line, the Cats minus $42.50, West Coast plus $42.50. Cats go back to back, mate.
Cats get the job done. The only thing I do want to say, I do want to just give, West Coast a little bit of credit. It was great to see so many of their fans out there. They know that they were depleted. Got a massive crowd out there to watch them. They know they were going to get done. And they still fought on. They still had a crack. And, the young guys there, they just didn't have it in the end. But Yo is an absolute superstar. Love watching him play. And, look, right under West Coast. The conditions they're under, they're still doing well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one as well, Spides. GWS v Hawthorn Sunday, 3:20. Back out at Norwood Oval, mate. Head-to-head, all thanks to Palmerbet. The Giants, $1.39. Hawks, $3. Giants, minus $16.50, Hawthorn, plus $16.50, $1.90. Which way are you playing here, Spide? Interesting contest.
It is very interesting. I wasn't happy, and I don't think anyone would have been with the way that, Hawthorn played the second half. I think they probably had a bit too many noodles at half time. I was trying to have a guess. I thought, there must be 2 minutes to play. 2-minute noodles. Yeah, there must be 2 minutes on the quarter. And then I thought, okay, just take it slow. You can't eat noodles quick. Just slow the ball down. And then their ruckman's nickname is Noodles. So we thought, right, this is something to do about Noodles ruck contest. And then it was just...
It's come out. So it's come out that it was just actually wet weather footy.
Noodle footy, just mad hack footy.
Yeah, which is bizarre.
Anyway, each to their own, but I would have been more impressed if it had Noodle Bar on there. So they got a sponsor out of it at least. But I love it how the guy who has to hold up the sign, he gets curry from his mates every time he has to do it, and he hates it. He gets belted on social media.
You wait, though. I bet you other clubs follow now. They'll have a bit of fun with it, Spot. It'll be good. And then you might get
absolutely
sponsors involved, mate. The Taco Tuesday might come into play or something.
The 10-cent wings. Look, for me, I reckon the Giants just need a few other players to stand up. But, Canigio, Himmelberg, Toby Green, they're just superstars. And, they're really holding that team together. I was disappointed. I was happy the coach gave them an absolute roast during the weekend. I reckon they needed a few more of those. Hopefully they get a few home truths, because I totally believe the Giants are better than what they're playing at the moment. Their turnover footy was disgraceful. So they would see what Hawthorn can do to you if you're not switched on, exactly like the Cats were on the weekend. So for me, I'm going to stick with the Giants.
Righto, Monday night footy at Adelaide Oval once again, or Monday Arvo, 4:50 p.m. Now, this game, if it was at the MCG, Spider, 95,000 would have been there. It's Collingwood v St Kilda. 80,000 would have been Collingwood supporters. 15,000 would have been you and the Saints.
I'll tell you what, though, if they win this one, there's not going to be much room on the bandwagon.
Mate, if you win this one, seriously, it is going to be game on. And Ross Lyon, they'll put a statue of him, I reckon, because everyone was popping at the start of the year. He's done a magnificent job. So head-to-head, Pies $1.44, Saints $2.70, Spider. That is ridiculous. Wow. At the line, Collingwood minus $14.50, Saints plus $14.50. Honestly, mate, how the hell they've got this market? It's blown me away, buddy.
Do the blokes at Palmerbet look at the ladder, or they don't?
I don't think they are, mate. We've got to be careful, though, because they're great supporters of us. And we love everything they do.
Yeah, absolutely. But you sit there and go, and you know what? Collingwood, as I said, they've only lost 2 in the last 17 games. So they're going all right. And, this is a great challenge. And Rossi Lyon will have the Saints absolutely primed for this. And they've got so many challenges within the challenge itself. A young group of kids playing against the biggest club in the competition. on a big stage at the end to wrap up a massive festival of footy. So it is built to be an absolute classic. You could not have planned this any better. Collingwood on the rebound. Saints have got everything going their way. They're up and about. For me, I don't want to go against our young guns of Mitch Owens, who's been fantastic. Higgins, I just want to go down to Saints training and see if they can actually kick a drop punt for goal. That's what I want to see because I haven't seen it at all, but it's working for him. But for me, I reckon Collingwood, I'm betting with my head here. I reckon Collingwood will still get the chocolates.
Gee whiz, mate, I can't believe it.
I know, but I'm not like you. I'll be honest. I'll be honest with the punters, what I believe. Okay, I don't sit there and tell you the Tigers are the best team in the competition.
I can't believe what I'm hearing, mate, to be honest. This is unbelievable.
I'm an honest man.
I actually reckon St Kilda, well and truly, the value of the weekend at 270 head-to-head. Look, that is phenomenal. Where both these sides are at. They've still got a few players out, the Maggies.
So is the Saints, and they're up and about. I understand that, but only 3 weeks ago, there's no way knowing you would have said that.
No, probably not. You're probably right there. And can I just say, what's your take on, there was a lot of negativity around the appointment of Ross Lyon and coming back to the Saints and all that kind of stuff. That's all put to bed now, surely, Spy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think the way the club did it too, they made the decision, ran with it, and said, "This is what we're doing. This is how it's going to unfold." Probably didn't give Ratton the right way of doing it all, but Rossi Lyon, there's no doubt, has straightened them up. Lenny Hayes has been really good there as well, and Robert Harvey, but Rossi Lyon has given. I'm in no doubt now. If you put Rossi Lyon in one or two other clubs, they'd make a massive difference in those clubs.
Isn't it funny
that hard? Well,
a few clubs overlooked him too, Spy. There's a few clubs that could have gone with Lyon as a head coach. They might be sitting back too now, going, "Gee whiz, we probably should have took him."
Absolutely, and I think you speak to a lot of the ex-St Kilda players, and they said, "You know what? He was hard, and he had discipline, and obviously the defensive mind game, but now he's got a little bit of that forward thrust as well." You sit there and go, "Okay, he's actually a complete coach," and he's very, very good. So at the moment, there's no complaints. And I reckon there's a few other clubs there that, you're right, would be kicking themselves.
Hey, Spy, you went 4 from 9 out of the tip 9 last week. And you went...
Yeah, but hang on. It's tough. It's been... Yeah, but hang on. All right, go to the next one. One from my 4 multis. Do you know why, though?
4, mate.
Yeah, hang on. I had...
Got a list,
I know, but I had one of the players to kick 2 goals. He kicked 1 goal, 3. I had Viney to get 25 touches. He decides to finish on 23. So, look, I was around the I wasn't far away at all. And I've got some cracking ones this weekend, which I reckon are good value.
Just so you know, though, they don't pay for close, mate, especially bookies like Palmer. They do not pay for close, all right?
Don't worry, I know that.
Hey,
let's rung them up.
Right, give us your multi. Give us your multi this week, mate. What's your lay down misere?
Okay, I've got 2. I reckon a real basic one, would be straight out. I would be taking the Cats and Melbourne 40 plus in a double.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. So Cats and Melbourne 40 plus. That gives you 489. That's nice. That is good odds.
Melbourne against Essendon. Only going to get their tails up. Cats over West Coast. You'd think that'd be.
Yep. That's good.
So that's that.
Yep, love it, mate. Palmer bet, of course.
Okay, 3-leg or 4-leg multi. I'm going to go now. I'm a massive, and I know there's been some big numbers by Curnow and you've got Cameron and these blokes kicking big goals. It's about the small forwards at the moment. There's a lot of small forwards that can kick good goals, and when you're playing on a couple of goat tracks in the back of Adelaide, you've got to start thinking about these small forwards. Just get the ball forward. You don't know what the conditions are like. So my multi this weekend, I'm going Lions, Rayner to kick 2 plus goals.
2 plus. Yeah, he's in good nick. He was great last week. Yep.
Stengel to kick 2 plus for the Cats.
He's due. Yep.
Should have kicked 8 on the weekend.
Yep.
Well, Cozzy Pickett in Melbourne to kick 2. He should have kicked 10.
Fine, mate.
Yep. And the only other one I'm taking out, the outsider, I'm putting Benny Ainsworth in there from the Suns.
Right, eh?
You can either go Lukosius or Benny Ainsworth. For me, Benny Ainsworth's got a little bit more. He'll be spending a little bit more time forward, deep forward.
Now, mate, I've just put this straight into the app. That's how simple it is. Download the Palmerbet app, get involved, do it in a responsible manner, of course. But Rayner, Pickett, Stengel and Ainsworth, that's at $25.98.
How good's that? That's all to kick 2 goals. Like Cozzy did that on the weekend. Stengel, Rayner, Ainsworth kicked 1. So they're all around the money. They're all going to be playing forward. They're all going to win games.
Why not, mate? Now, listen, pick 9. Come on, give it to us.
Rightio.
We're going to keep these straight in.
Okay. This is who I'm going with. I'm going with Carlton.
Yes.
The Suns.
Yes.
Sydney.
Yes.
Lions.
Yes.
Melbourne.
Yes.
Port Adelaide.
Yep.
The Cats.
Yep.
The Giants.
Yep.
And Collingwood.
Oh, gee whiz, imagine if your Saints just upset that pick.
And I'll be sitting there watching that too.
Yeah, the pick nine's only at 31.26. So there you go. So that's short enough, even with the Suns in there. That's
yep.
Oh, there you go.
And if you were nervous about the last one, if you're going each way, take Collingwood and take St Kilda. But for me, I reckon the bet of the round is still the Cats in Melbourne.
Right, love it, mate. 40 plus, and that gives you about $4.89. All thanks to Palmerbet. Download the app, get involved today. Do it in a responsible manner. We always say, Spider, you have a magnificent gather round weekend. I love the Dusty Boot in the background, mate. I love the Saints guitar even more, and I can't wait to see what pops up next week, big fella. But you have a wonderful weekend.
We'll see who turns it on over the weekend, and we'll see what pops up next weekend. But absolutely enjoy gather round. You'll love it. Everybody in Adelaide, I know everywhere around the country, we're absolutely jealous. We'd love to be able to have a festival of footy in our backyard for a whole week. And it's great to see the whole AFL is there embracing it. So good luck to Adelaide. Bring on the good weather and bring on good footy.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.